Superboy and Robin make up the Super Sons. This is the Adventures of Super Sons telling the extra adventures of the team-up of Robin and Superboy. Don't need to explain this one any further, I just love the Super Sons as a team, and when I found out that there are about 30 issues that they kept going with the Super Sons, but they just kept restarting the story and I had never read them nor covered them, I wanted to bring them all to you. This is Comicstorian. We take comics and turn them into audio dramas for you to enjoy. The point of all of this is to allow you to know what's going on in the world of comics and add things to your collection at your local comic book store or digital retailer. We make two types of videos. Complete stories are 2 to 3 issues of an arc, containing whatever I put into the title. Full stories are the entire arc, normally 6 to 50 issues, and a collection of our shorter videos. Now let's get into Adventures of the Super Sons, issue number 1. As the young Jonathan Kent smiles, tossing a piece of popcorn into his mouth, he says that he's sorry that it took so long. The place was a little farther than he thought. There's a sudden crash, and John continues eating, asking if he's sure that he didn't want any help. He did learn from the best. And as Damian Wayne swings out of the way of being hit by a giant statue of Superman, he yells, "Hey, fine, stop stuffing your damn face and help me take down your dad!" John flies up. First, this is not my dad. It's a statue. Second, does Batman know how much you curse nowadays? But as John joins the fight, Damian manages to break away, telling John to keep the statue busy for a bit. The signal that he was tracking ends nearby, and it's most likely what's controlling the statue. Damian looks around and sees a small work shed. He kicks in the door and within seconds comes back out with a man tied up, stating that he's probably the one driving that thing, right? The man yells that he will never be defeated by a child. John then says, "Hey, that's the puppeteer my dad showed me pictures of." But before John could finish, he's punched and Damian takes the small figure of the statue, asking, "What are you planning on doing? Do you even have a plan?" Puppeteer shouts that he will get rich after this display of his anima citronic technology. Damian looks at him, "Blah, blah, blah. You should have just sold it then." After having a little bit of fun using the statue to step on John, Damian breaks the figure, stating, "I really could get addicted to this." Puppeteer then asks if they can at least tell their dads how good his invention was. But before they could respond, the police and the other citizens arrive to see what happened. Damian pulls John aside, telling him that the fun is over. They need to go. Later, under Morrison Bay, John enters the hideout, stating that after Kid Amazo tore a hole through the hull, he thought he'd never get back down here. Damian finishes his repairs, stating that the Justice League has gone through dozens of HQs. Wait, what is that? Soda? John sets the cases of soda down, telling him that his mom and dad doesn't let him drink soda at home, so... "John, that's way too much sugar! And what's with your new belt?" "Oh, my dad gave it to me. He said he wasn't going to use it anymore since he changed his uniform." "Cool, right? It even has Wi-Fi, so now I'm a flying hotspot." After telling John that he would never call a belt cool, he mentions that there's a monster loose at the Mall of Metropolis. Seems mindless, but people could get hurt. John begins to get excited and yells out, "You know what that means, right?" "Please, no." "It's the summer of super!" Damian says that he will pay him $8 million to stop saying it like that. A few moments later at the mall, a hairy caveman-looking person roars as he picks up a car full of people throwing it. But John quickly catches it, stating that it's a brainless monster like him. He doesn't realize that he can actually hurt people. The man laughs. "Actually, I'm well aware of my actions and the end results." Damian gets ready to jump in, but before he could, he's shot out of the air as the bindings begin to wrap themselves around him from head to toe. The hairy man then grabs John. One wrong move and Kid Deadshot will put another one right between the peepers of your friend. John struggles, telling them that if they hurt him, "I will tear," but the hairy man throws John at Damian. "Don't worry, I got something for you two." John whispers, asking if Robin can hear him, but a voice tells him that they don't need to worry about names or code names here. John looks up to see a group of child counterparts to some of the League's most fearsome villains, with its leader, a miniature Lex Luthor. "I would like to introduce you guys to the gang. You've already met Shaggy Boy. Say hellos to Ice Princess, Kid Deadshot, Brainiac 6, and back from the grave, my bestest pal, Joker Jr." Joker Jr. laughs. "We don't need a backstory." Rexy and Rex laugh. "Of course not, JJ. I'm pretty sure John has enough questions. For example, why is he being attacked by kids who look like the planet's greatest heroes? And what, pray tell, does Rex Luthor have in his mysterious container? And just what in the world will gold kryptonite do to me?" Suddenly, John feels his powers quickly fading, and Rex says that he hates the fake drama, so he's going to cut to the chase. The truth is, we're not from here. Our home is light years away. We're just such big fans of yours. And fans of, what do you call them, the villains? Anyway, this is gold kryptonite, and it's some of the rarest stuff in the universe. Theory is that it drains Kryptonians' powers completely. John struggles to even try speaking, and Rex looks at him. It looks like it's not even a theory now. Bet it feels weird, huh? Rex lifts his fist into the air, punching John. Don't worry, it'll only hurt for a second. As John takes the hit, he is pushed back without taking any damage and looks down, realizing that the belt has a force field. My dad's the greatest. Brainiac 6 says that it's strange. It appears the boy's belt is equipped with a hard light auto protection mechanism, and he's calling it Dad. Shaggy Boy says, no, dummiac. His dad gave him the belt. And Ice Princess asks, should we go help our fearless leader, Shaggy Boy? Rex punches again. I don't need any help. My power glove is all I need. This Kryptonian's powerless inside. I just need to break through. But as Rex swings, John jumps out of the way. You're from another planet, so maybe you just need some pointers on how we handle things here. You may have sapped my powers with that gold kryptonite, but I definitely don't need them to take care of some cosplaying alien wannabes. Just then, John is shot in the back with a laser, and Kid Deadshot says, there is so much blabbing in this world, it's amazing anything gets done. While this is going on, Joker Jr. removes the bindings from Damian, asking, are you watching? Of course not. Seriously, you're gonna want to see this. So how about we cut right to the big surprise? Rex walks back to their ship. Yes, good idea. We were just planning on taking over the powerless Kryptonian body to get what we needed, but the force field is a slight hurdle. So instead, we'll just control him by other means, like a puppet. As Rex pulls and throws Puppeteer out, John says, you think I'm gonna let some third-rate bad guy use me in some sort of plan? But Joker Jr. pushes the ray gun to Damian's head. Of course you will, otherwise blammo! Puppeteer takes out another small device and begins to control John, and even as he struggles, Puppeteer tells them, it's pointless, the energy field is moving, he's just along for the ride. Rex says that is some tech. He wants a complete rundown on it after this is done, JJ. You'll have to wrap up your present and put it away for later. JJ reactivates the bindings, telling him, you heard the man. But before Damian could be completely rewrapped, he leans down whispering, you've got to help me. I'm not what you think I am. Rex then gets everyone on board, and after a short flight to the Arctic, Rex tells John to remember, just walk in and don't say a word. As John is let out and begins to walk into the Fortress of Solitude, Kid Deadshot says that this planet sure has everything. And Rex tells him that that's why he chose it. It has an abundance of riches. John then says, yeah, it's also rich with heroes who are gonna kick your butts back across the galaxy. After a little bit of walking, John steps up to a podium where a cube hangs suspended, and he asks, what is this? Rex yells, that's it exactly! Right where I last left it. Now bring it to me and we can all go back home. As they get back to the ship, Rex says that the object is called the Hypercube. It's one of the oldest objects in the universe. It's a gateway, giving one instant access to 8 dimensions. This will help them greatly as the gang extends its influence across the known universe. But first, they have an extra passenger to dispose of. Shaggy Boy grabs the Puppeteer as the Puppeteer is yelling for them to wait. Rex then grabs his blaster, going on about how Puppeteer could just be a puppet. But as John is listening, he forces himself to move, and as Rex pulls the trigger, John manages to jump in the way of the blast, taking the hit for the Puppeteer. JJ then says that takes care of that. 2 powerless kids can't get into too much trouble. He'll go ahead and take him back to the other kid. Rex says that it's a good idea. Do that while I take care of the Puppeteer. As John is dragged away, there's a gunshot heard across the ship. But as JJ continues bringing John down the hallway, a door opens up, and inside, Damian is wrestling himself free. JJ tells him to stop. You're just making it tighter. We copied the tech from a villain in our world called Copperhead. It constricts the more you move. Besides, you have work to do. You need to get your friend back up and punching and fighting. I know it's hard to believe, especially from someone who looks like me, but we really need your help. As Damian becomes free, he jumps at Joker Jr., slamming him into the wall. I am not gonna fall for that trick! Damian then hits him with Joker Jr. yelling, hey, if I'm gone too long, Rex is gonna notice. Please, just listen. There's more going on here than you realize. We're not just villains trying to open up the multiverse. Damian holds his punches, telling Joker Jr. that he has 20 seconds. So Joker Jr. explains that they're from the Cygnus system and they've been watching Earth for years. Their entire culture is built around celebrating their world. Rex, however, imagines it all much differently. His dark, twisted perception of their world has led him to create a much grimier story about himself. He used it to inspire himself to follow in the footsteps of their greatest failures, their villains. Rex killed his parents to try and drive him crazy, to turn him into a Joker that he could team up with, and when that didn't work, he took things a step further. Rex created all of these kid villains. The others are loyal to Rex, but he isn't. Rex wants to use that cube to find even more who will join him. He wants to destroy their worlds, making them into the stories he sees in his head. I can't prove anything that I'm telling you, but I can give you this. As Joker Jr. holds out a box, Damian asks what is it, and JJ tells him that it's the case with the synthetic kryptonite. Brainiac 6 made it. He overheard him tell Rex that the effects can be reversed if necessary. So Damian asks how does it work, and JJ tells him he doesn't know. He just needs him to be the heroes that inspired him from a far-off galaxy. A few moments later on the bridge, there's a warning that an escape pod just launched, and Rex looks around asking, where the hell is Joker Jr.? As Kid Deadshot and Ice Princess check the escape pods, they see a message from JJ, and it simply says, I quit. Joker Jr. is a traitor, Rex! Rex then hurries to the holding cells, but inside, Damian is tinkering with the synthetic kryptonite, stating that something is happening. John's eyes begin to shine both red and blue. It hurts, Damian! It feels like I'm being ripped in two! And as the room fills with light, Shaggy Boy pulls open the doors to the holding cells as a blue version and a red version of John stare at each other, asking, who are you? Damian continues to examine the kryptonite, stating that it turned red. Any idea what that does, John? A short while in space, JJ sighs, stating that he did it. He's finally free of Rex, and it doesn't matter where he ends up, as long as he can be himself again. But then there was a warning alarm, and before JJ realized it, his escape pod was being shot and he was being flung into space. But while holding his breath, JJ reaches inside of his jacket, pressing a button. Back on the ship, Kid Deadshot laughs, telling himself, blam! Gotcha, sucker! Joker Jr. is handled, Rex. I'm an even better shot than the real Deadshot. Rex tells him, good, now get your butt over here. We got a problem. Damian puts himself between the two Johns as they're arguing over which one is the real one, telling them, stop! We gotta focus! The gang's going to pounce! But the two Johns both yell at him to shut up. Rex, meanwhile, tells Shaggy Boy to grab him. And Shaggy Boy asks which one. And Rex shouts, just grab one! Damian says something about splitting his personality must have made him naturally adverse to each. But Red yells that Blue is just a faker. Can't you tell by looking at him? And Blue shouts that Red is a stupid jerk. I can't wait to punch him! Damian then covers both of their mouths. Look, Superboys, until this wears off, we gotta work together. The two argue that they're not going to, and why should they? And as Shaggy Boy attacks, Damian says, that's why! Damian throws a batarang to keep Shaggy Boy back, but Red and Blue go back to arguing to the point of Red actually punching Blue. Rex then punches Blue back towards him, telling him, thanks, Red, enemy of my enemy, etc., etc. Blue goes flying over and Red ducks. Hey, you kinda hit me! Damian and Red then charge for Rex, but there's an ice blast that shoots by, freezing them both in place, and Ice Princess says that the stupid heroes are best served on the rocks. Damian shouts that they're messing with the wrong heroes from the wrong planet. And let me show you firsthand how to handle alien wannabes. Rex tells them that he has studied their planet for months. They will be better in every single way. And he's going to start by performing their planet's oldest trick. Killing a Robin! Kid Deadshot walks up, pointing his laser at Damian. I'm sorry to do this. I was one of your biggest fans. But suddenly the ice melts as Damian and Red fall. Why is my butt so hot? Red asks, and Blue sits up laughing as his eyes cool down, stating that his butt is just red, just like the rest of him. Damian quickly grabs the synthetic kryptonite, telling him, I am never having kids. Keep the gang busy, Superboys. I'm gonna find a way to get this kryptonite machine working and get you back together. Red and Blue jump to their feet and charge in, and as Blue says that Robin told him to keep the gang busy, Red argues, stating that he was talking to both of them. Rex runs out of the room and radios to Brainiac 6 that the human boy has escaped and is possibly heading in his direction. Brainiac 6 says that he calculated that as a risk an hour ago. there's nothing that he can. But in that moment, there's a sudden shake in the ship, and Brainiac 6 falls out of his chair, caused by a giant hole that the Superboys, namely Blue, ripped in the hole. Brainiac 6 gets up. I will scan the cameras to locate Robin. But before he can, Damian jumps into the room, kicking him, telling him, "Good news! You found me!" Damian pins him down, telling him that he's going to tell him how to get his partner back to the way he was, or he'll be thrown out of the nearest window. Brainiac 6 laughs. "From what I have observed of your kind, you will never kill anyone intentionally." Rex begins to sneak up, but as he goes to swing, Damian rolls out of the way, allowing Rex to deliver his punch directly to Brainiac 6's stomach. Back with the others, Red closes up the hatch, stating that the container door should hold for a few. Blue asks, "What? Are you breathing hard? What a wuss." But there's another shake of the ship, and Rex says that it's Cygnus. They're closing in on its troposphere. Damian hurries over to the controls, stating that the navigation system is busted. Where is the manual override? And Rex says that it won't be enough at this velocity. Back with the boys, they continue to argue when Damian comes over the comms, telling them that they amazingly took out the navigation controls. So they're basically in an accelerated freefall towards a major metropolitan area. He has no idea what power levels they have, but they need to gather these gang losers and get them off the ship while he tries to steer it away from the city. But Red asks Blue if he's thinking what he's thinking. Blue says of course he is. Robin is so lucky to work with them. As the ship continues its descent, Red flies out to pull up on the stern while Blue pushes on the bow. Within a few moments, the spaceship flies down into Cygnus, but with the help of Red and Blue, they help bring the ship down in one piece, even though it has crashed. Damian steps out, calling to Red and Blue, asking if they can hear him, because they didn't. Red stumbles forward, telling him that he's here, but he doesn't feel right, like something's missing. Damian asks where's Blue, and they see him down at the wreckage, not moving. Red says that it must have been the reverse thrusters. He caught them full on, but still managed to save them. So Damian tells Red to go find the kryptonite device now. Rex appears asking, "Oh, you mean this little thing? Afraid it's broken. Looked like a hero died today, the first of several." Damian begins to ask what does he mean, and Shaggy Boy stomps on the synthetic kryptonite box. Rex begins to laugh, but that's when there's a beep beep and a voice calls out, "Hey, Super Sons, get it." Damian and Red look up to see the space cabbie flying over. "Heard you need a ride back to Earth." And the adventures of the Super Sons continues. The first major adventure wraps up in these first 3 issues as they are now on the planet of Cygnus. Now, if you're wondering, this apparently takes place before the whole age up thing. So this is like a series of stories that happened to Damian and John before they became like their new versions. Honestly, there's still a lot of fun, and we have a lot more of these to bring to you, so if you want to hear the story continue as to where Space Cabbie's going to bring them and their adventure through the multiverse, then make sure you like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you know when more videos are coming out. On that note, guys, I will see you later, and thank you so much for your continued support. I really do appreciate it.